Browse abandonment is a critical pre-purchase email marketing flow. It is the third highest revenue generating flow after the welcome series and abandoned cart. It is extremely profitable if you set it up correctly. That's why in this video I will explain what browse abandonment flow is, why you need it, and how to create high converting structure. Now, if this is the first time you meet me, my name is Konrad Wysocki and I've been able to generate over 7 figures in sales from multiple e-commerce brands just from email marketing. I post weekly detailed videos to help e-commerce brand owners grow their business without relying on paid ads. Okay, before I show you the high converting structure, let's get into how to actually create a browse abandonment flow. So what you want to do is go to settings and then integrations. So not setting, but just press on your store name, then go into Shopify, and you want to make sure that you have checked this one thing, which is this additional tracking features. You won't have it because otherwise you won't be able to track viewed product tracking events. So you want to track this event, make sure it's marked, and then if it wasn't marked, make sure you check it and then update settings. And then just as usual, just go to flows, create flow, and there will be one of the essential flows will be recommended one, probably browse abandonment. Yeah, right here, but you can also type in browse abandonment and it'll also pop up. You just go with standard one, like the most basic one pretty much. For name, we'll just have it right now as it is, and you just press create a flow, and that's it. That's how you create it. Pretty straightforward. But then what you want to do is obviously play a little bit of time delay. I'm going to talk about later on. And you want to turn off smart sending because this is one of the most important flows, the third highest revenue generating flow. And the reason why it works so well and why it generates so much money is because this is the stage where people view the product. So what I would also like to do in filters is add one more, which is added to cart, because as you can remember in one of the previous videos, we're adding added to cart event, which is pretty much responsible for generating more revenue by having abandoned cart and abandoned checkout flows. So we want to make sure that people add it 0 times since starting this flow. Once you have it, you just hit save and that's it. So yeah, now this flow is one stage before people add to cart or are probably go to checkout. So this is the moment where the highest volume, the highest amount of people will just leave. Most of them, probably when you're running ads, you're sending them directly to a product page, not on to the home page. Obviously both are fine, depends on what works for you better, but just by looking at our brands and at our clients, most of your ads will direct people to landing page or your product page. So what happens is when someone is on your product page, they trigger viewed product event. So this is when they will receive the, if they abandon obviously without buying, this is when they receive this flow. This is why it generates so much revenue. A lot of volume of people who are familiar with the product, so you just need to convince them and make them buy. So now let's get into the actual structure of the flow. Alright, so this is the exact structure I always use. Let's start with it. So the trigger is viewed the product to the product, but then add it to cart, start the checkout and purchase. And the time delay for the first email is usually in most cases the same one as in the abandoned cart or checkout. So if the first email in your abandoned cart flow is being sent 1 hour after someone abandoned the cart, you want to have the same time delay for this flow. Usually it's gonna be anywhere between 30 minutes and 2 hours. That's what I do most of the times. The content of the email is just to remind people about the product. Viewed products, very similar to abandoned cart and checkout. You just want to tell them, hey, we saw you checking out our products, we saw you eyeing them, just mention them, show the products that they used. A little tip, if you want to have a dynamic section, it is the same section, the same dynamic block that is for abandoned cart flow. So not checkout, for abandoned cart flow, you have to remember this is for abandoned cart. So you can include the same dynamic block to show them the products they were reviewing. It also adds a little bit, it boosts your conversion because people can see what the item is all about. Email number 2 and all the other emails are being sent 1 day after previous email, so I'm not gonna mention that every single time because it doesn't make sense. Just time delay is always 1 day for those emails. We try to make this flow quite punchy, quite short. You don't want to retarget someone 3 weeks after they were viewing a product. It doesn't make sense, but length like this, 4 days, is pretty decent. So yeah, the content itself is just bundles and bestsellers. So regardless of what they've been browsing, you want to still show them bundles and bestsellers and talk a little bit more about them. So what makes them bestsellers, why they're so good, talk about benefits and features of the product, and it's pretty straightforward. Don't make it too long, but show the items. You can also play with prices. So we've been doing a bunch of A/B tests, for example, where we were showing prices and we have emails without prices, and those with prices ultimately converted better, even though they had lower click rate. So less people were clicking on those emails, but they ended up buying more because they knew the price they're pretty much already sold on. So let's say there could be more qualified clickers, right? So yeah, email number 3, USP, why us? So you against your competitors, why buy from us rather than competitor A, B or C? What makes you different, what makes you better? And this is where we also like to give an incentive. So you could give it away in the first email, although I don't recommend doing that. I never recommend giving away incentive in the first emails for abandoned cart, browse abandonment and abandoned checkout flows. Doesn't make sense, you're just giving up your margins and probably just losing money. So you want to give it in the third email because it's still decent, people will still probably see it because it's only 2 days after they were reviewing the product. So give them incentive and remove the price objection, and your conversion rates should also go up. Email number 4, this is where social proof comes in, success stories, testimonial reviews. You probably know I love them because they work very well. If you run a apparel clothing brand whatsoever, reviews are very good. Show the amount of reviews you have, the number of them. So for example, 7K 5-star reviews. Success stories are great for products that solve very specific problem. Usually it's gonna be supplements or like health related products. Always include before and after. Very easy way to show people that other people, your customers, had similar problem or the same problem, and what was the outcome after using your product. It works like a charm, so do it definitely. And then email number 5 is just urgency, incentive, last reminder. So your last chance to use the incentive and buy at discounted price, get it 10% off, get it $15 off, whatever it may be. Just remind them about the product, about the incentive, all of that. Try to wrap it up to make it short and punchy. You don't want to make it too long. Probably the longest email itself will be the 4th one, just because of the testimonials and reviews, but you don't want to go crazy with them. And if you have 7K reviews, you don't want to show all of them. It may surprise you, I know, but usually for reviews, which are shorter ones, for like clothing, apparel, jewelry, I would go anywhere between 3 and 5 reviews. For success stories, anywhere between 1 and 3 is good. That's why I always do. It works well for us. And again, it will depend on the length of the testimonials or success stories or reviews, but try to not make it too long, because if it's too long, nobody's gonna read that. And try to also make the most important parts of the testimonials bold. So for example, someone was struggling with weight loss, so you could just make it bold. I was struggling to lose weight. I tried different diets, exercises, whatever it may be, but then I came across X, and you would make it bold, and it helped me lose X weight in time frame. So it helped me lose 10 pounds in 1 week or whatever. It was just an example. So I hope you get the point. But yeah, make it bold so it's easier to find the actual. People also tend to skip it and skim it. So just try to make it bold, to make it stand out, to make sure that they read that and be like, okay, I've been struggling with the same problem, but it helped them. I'm gonna give it a shot, and maybe it will help me as well. So yeah, this is the structure of the flow itself. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Implement that, it works very well. It's gonna be your probably 3rd highest revenue generating flow, so make sure it's really good and keep optimizing it constantly. A/B testing, copy, subject lines, angles, design, everything else you can. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so now you know how to create high converting browse abandonment flow and why is it so important. But if you want to scale your e-commerce business without spending more money on ads on Facebook, Google or TikTok, you can just book a call with me using a link in the video description, and I'll show you how to grow your business profitably using email marketing. Thanks for watching this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye!